Hello everyone and welcome to a very special episode of the Wrestling Review. Now currently we're all stuck at home due to the coronavirus pandemic, and I don't want to bring politics or opinions or science to what's apparently a gunfight, but I also wanted to say I want to have a little fun with it. And since we're going to be home anyway, since many of us should be wearing masks when we're out in public, I thought, how do we make this a little fun? Why don't we look at wrestling masks and decide which ones would work should you decide to wear them? So this is just a couple shopping options, not necessarily things that are for sale. Some of them are, but things that do exist. And if you wanted to get feisty, you could actually wear which ones would be good to wear during this pandemic and which ones wouldn't. So I'm going to start out with Atlantis. Mexican wrestling superstar Atlantis. This is a terrible mask. It does not cover the nose and it does not cover the mouth. If you see those paper masks that we're talking about, this is basics. You need to cover your mouth and your nose to keep the air through. This is a horrible mask. So I hope Atlantis has something to put on top of that, please. This is one is just sort of a generalized Bane mask. I don't know if there's necessarily any luchador that wears this, but I saw this, and this actually works. Covers the nose, covers the mouth, actually covers the eyes a little bit. If you actually happen to be in a hospital setting, they say to cover your eyes. And I mean, if you work at a hospital and they let you wear this, that is the greatest hospital in the world. I can't imagine who many patients would want to see Bane hovering over them. But hey, it's worth a shot, right? This is the mask for Villano 4. Now, I know a lot of the Villanos. I think all the Villanos had the same mask. 3, 4, and 5 had the same mask, if I remember correctly. Now, never mind that he looks like an aging grandmother at the beach. But this mask, again, it's just another general luchador mask. The accent stuff is cool, but the reality is the mouth and the nose are not covered. So, unfortunately, Villano 4, you're gonna fail this one. Now, here's the first successful one. This is Ciclope from WCW. Used to wrestle in WCW, worked for AAA. This is actually one of his masks. He had other masks that had the mouth wide open and things like that. He was known as Ciclope, and later in Mexico he's known as Halloween. This is one of the ones he wore in 98, I believe, 98, 99. This is a good mask. The nose and mouth is covered. And again, if you're in a situation where you're walking around in public like this, if your job allows it, I would get this mask. This is a very good mask for that purpose. And then after he left WCW, he just eventually went to face paint, which helps no one. So really, Halloween, get your stuff together, put a mask on, do what you got to do. This is famed, legendary El Santo. This, as great as his career was, this mask does no good. For the same reasons I mentioned before. The chin is not open, but the mouth is, and the nose is. And believe me, I know those masks can get really hot, especially the material they use, but this is not useful. It doesn't do anything for the original El Santo because, well, he's dead. But it also doesn't necessarily help El Hijo del Santo, who is still alive and still wears a very similar mask. So he might want to work on that. This is the Gobbledygooker. Say what you want, and it's goofy, but this actually works. It covers the eyes, the nose, the mouth. It covers your whole head. I mean, you're going to get a lot of awful, weird looks, just like the original Gobbledygooker did, but hey, you can't argue with results. This is Grand Metalik, aka Mascara Dorada, and this is another good one. Nose, mouth covered, looks like some kind of special superhero, whatever. If you want to wear the top with it, that's your business. That's between you and whoever your supervisor is. I'm not really here to judge, but the mask itself actually works really well. Actually even covers your hair, so that's really good. This is the mask of the great Sasuke. This is a horrible mask. Sasuke, of course, is looking very official. This is the guy who was actually elected to the Japanese Senate, so take that for what it is. But the mouth and nose, it's all open, like all of it. Like it's, I don't know, like it's just, that's one of those, like, you get the cut, but this is just, it's all open there. He might as well just be running through the places naked, which, if you ever heard the guy, some of the stuff he talked about in the actual Congress, I'll be honest with you, it's not too far off. This is the legendary late Hayabusa. Now, there's a dispute here on exactly how connected the nose piece is. If you ever see that piece going up on his nose, it's supposed to have a seal around the nostrils. So there's a debate on that, but you know what? I'm going to give it to him. It's close enough, and the mouth is clearly covered, and the nose is, I'll give it to him. It's not bad. In the first in the line of what the hell, this is I don't know who the hell made this, but this is supposedly a luchador mask inspired by the creepypasta internet sensation Jeff the Killer. I don't know enough about the internet and that crazy bullshit. But this is some kind of meme or whatever, and someone made a mask about it. Again, say what you want, but this is effective. It does what it needs to do. There's a couple nostril holes, but nothing too much. So, yeah, I think this one will pass. But again, I can't imagine a scenario in which you'd actually be able to get away with wearing this. Protection or not, you look like a psychopath. But in this case, I think that was the plan. This is lovely Kemonito. If you've ever seen that clip where the little guy gets bopped on the head, and then they baseball slide, he flies into the wrestler like a cannonball covered in fur. That's Kemonito. That's him. This is the guy. He's a little person, a Mexican mini. He's a manager to, for the life of me, don't know who the wrestler is. I'm sorry. But, yeah, I mean, if you're, I don't know, 2 feet tall and can fit in a miniature green gorilla costume, hey, I mean, whatever protects you, man, that's between you and whoever the hell puts up with you. But yeah, technically it works. I mean, it's protection in more ways than one, I guess. Found this one at highspots.com, the Kung Fu Guerrero Pro Mask. I don't know who the hell Kung Fu Guerrero is. I looked it up, and by the way, if you do look up the term Kung Fu Guerrero, as it's spelled here, you're going to be inundated with a bunch of Kung Fu Panda stuff, because apparently that's the only thing in America that the word Kung Fu are in the past 30 years, I guess. Like, Kung Fu movies used to be a thing, and then they fell out of favor, and then Kung Fu Panda comes along. So, I still don't know who Kung Fu Guerrero is, but this works. Again, nose and mouth are covered. It's, compared to some of the stuff I've seen, this isn't the worst, so, whatever. Going back to WCW's glory days, it's Lasertron. This is a takeoff of another mask, which I'm going to get to. It's fully covered. The face is sort of a mesh, but I don't know. It's debatable whether it'd be good. It depends on how thick that mesh is, I guess. But, it's covered, so maybe. This is the second version of the mask, which completely undoes whatever the first time did. This mouth is completely open now. So it's bad enough that you're Lasertron. Now you're Lasertron without extra protection. So life sucks for you double. This guy right here looking like a Season 1 Power Rangers villain is Mascara Sagrada. He was so famous that he actually inspired a little person, a Mexican mini named Mascarita Sagrada. This is another one. It covers up fine. It's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, overall, if you can find yourself a Mascara Sagrada mask, first of all, you're lucky. Second of all, you wear that thing to the hospital or the doctor or Walmart. I don't care. Do what you do. This is Psycho Clown. Yeah, there's a little nostrils there, but here's the thing. Here's the thing why this mask is so great. If you wear this mask, I guarantee no one is going to get closer than 6 feet from you. No one. They might not get 10. I mean, you might get some really good separation, because if you go around looking like this, people are going to avoid you whether there's a pandemic or not. So this might just be a good thing for you in general. Another WWE Classic Psychosis. Again, this is terrible. Nose, mouth, fully covered. No, this thing barely protects his eyes. I mean, it's like barely on his eyes. No, fail. Alabrije and his little buddy Cruje. Hey, you say what you want here. Again, this is another one of those that, first of all, that actually does cover the mouth and the nose. It's like a mesh, so that works. But also, if you're either one of these guys and you wear this out in public, no one will mess with you. You could rob a bank in this, and people would just walk the other way because you look like this demonic Power Ranger inspired monster. Okay, this isn't even, they're not even trying here. No, pass. Wrestling legend Rey Mysterio, great wrestler, great performer, not so bad on the mic, terrible in a pandemic. There is nothing right about this mask, so let's try better. This is Chikara mainstay from years ago, Shane Storm. It's just like the Jeff the Killer mask. It looks insane, and it is. But again, it actually does what it needs to do. So, buy this at your own risk. Going back to the guys who recently left the WWE, or I don't know how long ago he left the WWE, doesn't matter, but Sin Cara mask, again, this is good. This even covers the eyes, man. This is a good mask in general. Can't blame it. This is based on the original idea. The Mystico mask is very similar to that. There's all these different versions of it. There's Mysticis, who is the original Sin Cara, so on and so forth. But this variation of the mask, really good. And if you're going to, I'd recommend this, definitely. TNA trademark, I guess, Suicide. Again, they just brought him back with like a different look, but this mask is similar to that. Yeah, again, it does everything it needs to do. So it's better than the Manic redo that they did with TJP, but the original mask is not a bad idea. Not bad. Going back to the terrible gimmicks that were just awful, ironically, not knowing what they were doing, the creation of the Sultan actually created a mask that works perfectly for this time. It covers the nose, it covers the mouth. Matter of fact, if you think about it, it looks almost like an actual face mask you're supposed to wear anyway. Like, it's got that leather strap in the middle, but for what it is, it's almost identical what you need now. It's just like a fancy rich people version of a face mask. So if you can go back in time and hit up Fatu for this mask, hey, go for it. While we're at it, could someone just buy this Super Colo commercial mask from High Spots? It's $4. It looks like it doesn't cover on the side. It does not cover your nose, does not cover your mouth properly. It looks like it doesn't even wrap around the chin right. But this is been on High Spots for single-digit dollars for years now. They're just trying to get rid of it. It says it's officially licensed by WCW. I don't know if that's true. I don't care. It's $4. Will someone buy this mask? Dear God. Another great mask here is Super Dragon. I mean, this is I like this design. I've always liked this design. Super Dragon is a performer. I know he's the owner of PWG, or one of the owners of PWG right now, or whatever. Don't know. I've sort of seen him in clips, and he sort of exists as this wrestler who's always just been an indie guy. But yeah, this mask is really cool. And again, it does everything it needs to do. Even covers your eyes. So that's good for me. This is a mask, the Super Strong Machine, Giant Machine, Super Machine, Hulk Machine, whatever, all the machines. This is a mask that, again, does everything it needs to do, and you get a suit with it. So, I don't know if that's true, but hey, it's worth a shot. Back at Chikara, let's talk about the 3 members of the colony. Fire Ant, I believe Green Ant, and Army Ant, if I remember correctly. There were different ones, but I'm pretty sure that's what these 3 are. Again, all 3, they work fine. They got everything covered, and they're ants. I mean, what else do you want? Classic Luchador Teneblas. This is very much similar to the Lasertron design, and there's other variations of it. This is the original. This is Teneblas. It's mesh, covers the entire face. I mean, again, it depends on how thick that mesh is, but for what it is, I mean, anyone who's looking at you looks like they're looking into the void, or like some kind of third-tier Marvel character. But hey, it ain't about being fashionable. It's about being protected, and this might be the mask for you. As much as I love Vader and his career, this is not a good mask for this. I mean, this is probably one of the worst. It covers almost nothing. I mean, there's a strap across his head. Like, there are different straps and everything, but it doesn't really cover anything. So mask-wise, this is just a bad choice for this particular moment. This is actually better. This is, yeah. Matter of fact, I want to see this. I want to see someone walk down the street with the Mastodon helmet that Vader used to carry to the ring that shot. Oh, and of course, it shot steam out the back. I want that. I want to see that. Hell, I want to do that. Screw it, That'll make a pandemic go out and, be in style, man. Walking around with a Mastodon helmet with steam shooting out the back of it. Yeah. Oh, I want to do that. Well, that's all the masks I could find for this time. I think it's a good combination of things. If you're looking for a mask to take care of yourself during this time, if you got to go out in public, go to the grocery store, go to work. Some people are still at work. I know I am. And you want to do it in style, find the right luchador mask, throw it on. I'm not saying your boss won't be pissed, but hey, they want protection, you get protection. But that's going to do it for this time. Until next time, you've been listening to The Wrestling Review. Have a good one.